Boy, I can tell you from one, my team just gives me head. I guess Toby can say the same too. Headaches. Just
Oh yeah,
absolute headaches. I don't know what's going on with the Lakers. I mean, we got LeBron back. We got AD back finally.
kind of.
Yeah, LeBron's still hurt. Now he's publicly stating that he may never get back to where he used to be. Well, we don't need to hear that right now. No one needs to hear that in the middle of the regular season that you may never be 100% again. Bro, let's get to the playoffs and go from there. But yeah, the Lakers not doing so hot. The Celtics currently right now sit
7th
in the 7th spot, so they're in the play-in, which is very dangerous territory. So both of our teams are not doing too hot, but I should give a kind of recap here. So the Philadelphia 76ers, they still currently hold the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, followed by the Nets and Bucks. And then the New York Knicks have finally clinched a playoff spot. I don't even know when the last time they did. It's the first time in a while. But my goodness, who would have thought the Knicks are here in the playoffs since what, Melo in what, 2010? Something like
I
that.
think it was. Yeah, I think I saw 2013
third.
was
Okay.
their last year with a winning record.
Goodness.
So
yeah, so congratulations to the New York Knicks. And then how about the Hawks? You know, the Hawks were a team that after they drafted Trae Young, you thought, maybe they'll be on the come up. Then they were very bad last year. And now all of a sudden they're right back in the playoffs, followed by the last year's runner-ups, the Heat, then the 6th spot. And then as we alluded to earlier, we have the 7 seed Celtics, the Hornets, Pacers, and Wizards. So to round out the East. And then the West, the Jazz they're trying to hang on. The Suns are giving them everything they can handle for that 1 seed. But the Jazz still are in first place, followed by the Suns. And then the Nuggets, who actually just dropped a game to the Lakers, they are in the 3rd seed, followed by the Clippers. And then my Lakers are there. And then it's dicey between the Lakers are 5th, the Mavericks are 6th, and then the Trailblazers are 7th. So those 3 teams are all a game a piece from each other. So any given night, if that team loses and the other 2 win, you can go from 5th to 7th just like that, which is really not what you want. You do not want to be part of this play-in for this year, which LeBron has very publicly come out against. He said whoever decided that should be fired. I highly disagree with that, but that's here or there. Who do you see making a final push as we go into the postseason that could be a potential really dangerous threat when come playoff time?
will you allow me to be biased?
Go ahead.
So the Celtics right now sit at 7, and that's a horrible spot to be. However, they've been on sort of a losing kick after they had sort of righted the ship. As soon as Kemba Walker got hurt and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum started missing games that the other wasn't playing in, they started losing. Anyway, their final few games here consist of games against the Magic, horrible, the Bulls, easily beatable, the Cavaliers, very beatable, the Timberwolves should be tanking. Then they've got 2 against the Heat, who are 1 spot ahead. And actually, if the Celtics win tomorrow, they'll be tied in record. And then their last game comes down against the New York Knicks.
Oof.
So there's a chance to go in with a ton of momentum. And in the East, the real race between all these teams, because the Knicks, the Heat, the Hawks, and the Celtics are not separated by that many games. What you want to do in the East is you want to race for that 5 spot, that 4 and 5 spot, because that guarantees in the first round you don't play the 76ers, the Nets, and the Bucks, who are a tier above. So whichever team has the easiest route to get that 4-5 spot could really make some noise, because you're going to play against the 76ers, who we've seen in the postseason a lot of times and wilted and withered. Now they're on a different level this year. Embiid's nice. Seth Curry can shoot the ball for him, which is something that they've never had, at least with Embiid and Simmons there. So that's very nice for them. But you want to get that spot because you want to avoid at all costs playing the Nets. And so whichever one of those teams in the 4 or 5 spot in the East, which I think at the end of the year could be the Celtics. I mean, you've got a pretty favorable path. If you're going to be a lower seed that makes noise, it's going to have to come that way out of the East. And out West, it's kind of a cop-out, but the Lakers, I mean, they're tied with the Mavericks right now for 5th. They're that 5-6. They're too good to be that low of a seed. And once they're healthy, they'll show that again. So that's a pretty big cop-out answer because they'll probably play a team that they'll be favored in a series. In the second round, it'll be like the 2 seed. But yeah, out West, that's a war out West, man. I'm happy my team's in the East, I'll tell you that. Because out West is an absolute war at the top.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's so crazy is, I mean, if the season ended today, everyone talks about Battle LA. We would play the Clippers first round.
Yeah.
That was everybody's semifinals preseason pick. And we would play them first round. Could you imagine that? See,
that would be so much fun.
It would be fun, but at the same time, I feel like after that, the winner of that series would just feel untouchable. Like the team that you have been basically gearing up for all offseason, especially after what happened in the playoffs last year, you've already beaten that team in the first go around. I feel like nothing will get you to that height again until you get to the finals. So every other team you play after that will just be like, not that it doesn't matter. It's just they're not the same. The Suns are just not the same as the Clippers.
Right. That is kind of the danger, though. If that series does happen, that next round, if you go in and you think, well, we just beat either one of those LA teams, we just beat LA, then you go play the Suns. They're kind of the dangerous ones because none of those Suns guys outside of Chris Paul and Jay Crowder know what playoff basketball is about. So they're going to go in. It's just going to be basketball for them. I don't think any of them quite understand the gravity of a game 1, game 2, type scenario. So they're just going to go out there, play the same basketball they've played all year. That's why I'm really excited for the West because the top seeds this year, I don't expect any letdown from them, but the bottom seeds are almost just as talented as the top seeds. So there's not going to be letdown from those teams at the top, but the teams at the bottom, they know what it takes to win. Not even the bottom, the teams in the middle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks like it's going to be so much fun this year. I really hope the Celtics can get on a roll. I would love nothing more than to play the Knicks first round in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I would love nothing at a Boston, New York first round playoff series. Yeah, it'd be nice to bring the Knicks back down to earth a little bit.
Give it to them. They're finally in the playoffs.
See, this is kind of, it's all setting up, and I'm trying not to get my hopes too high up because, I mean, the Celtics this year have been a real disappointment to me. But the way it's shaping up right now is if we finish the way we should against these teams and we win the games we should, we could get the Knicks first round, we could get New York, then we could get Philadelphia. And if you pull off the big upset against Philadelphia, you get to play Brooklyn in the conference finals. What a ride that would be. So much fun. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the NBA, like even more come playoff time now, even though my team is in the danger zone. And of course, Connor, he's not looking forward to the play-in tournament because he doesn't like it.
So
it's the one way that he's going to get to see the Pacers play extra games.
Yeah, that's the one way they get in.
Because he loves to brag to us after the Pacers win.
Which
the Pacers lose.
Which we don't care about.
Right, and the Pacers lose, and it's
crickets.
Everybody. Man, I don't think I could stomach another Pacers game. We just have nobody playing. Well, okay, then don't talk to us when they win. Then,
Yeah,
but that's neither here nor there. This is a Creed topic. We should save it for a Creed moment. But yeah, his team they could potentially sneak in to the postseason via the play-in tournament.
all I know is if they have to play the Wizards, I mean, I will be very anti-Indiana that day.
Jeez, he's a big whiz guy.
No, I'm more. I mean, Russell Westbrook is one of my favorite players, and then of course my boy Bradley Beal.
Right.
I
And
mean,
our guy,
those two on the same team.
Rui Hachimura.
Yeah,
No, but good for the Wizards though.
I know.
Look at them
Based on that,
getting-
dude, remember when they couldn't guard a parked car?
Yeah, they went on a huge run. They had they have the second longest winning streak in the NBA this season.
Yeah,
Nice, it got them their second longest winning streak to 5 games under 500, which is good enough to get them a chance to go for that play-in spot.
you could be the
So-
Rockets, lose 20
Well-
something in a row.
Right, that's yeah. Tank for Cade though. Tank for Cade. Good for the Rockets, I guess.
Oof, that's so bad. That is just so bad.
But this is the part of the year where we kind of tune out all the bad teams, and then we remember them again when the lottery balls are picked during the Western Conference Finals on ESPN, right before the game starts. We're like, oh yeah, remember that when the Timberwolves played this year? That was cool.
They got the
Give
number
me
one
a-
overall pick, and I think they might have gotten worse.
They did somehow get worse. And Karl Anthony Towns came back, and they're like playing all right. Like their number one overall pick is averaging 18 points. Cat's there. D'Angelo Russell's back to playing.
And they have
I
20
think-
total wins.
I think they're just cursed.
Yeah, dude, they're doomed. They are doomed.
One of our very good listeners, who's probably listening right now, became so fed up with the Timberwolves after being a fan for, I think, 3 seasons that he is now a Denver Nuggets fan.
What?
He has made the transition into Denver for his guy Nikola Jokic. Completely. Well,
What are
not
you
completely,
talking about?
not completely. His name, it's anonymous,
Oh,
but it rhymes with rack. Rack
Oh.
steel
oh,
is what it
he's,
rhymes with.
he's over there.
He's not in the room. I know he'll
Oh.
listen in, and I know he agrees. He's not completely done with the Wolves, but he is. I mean, he's a Nuggets fan now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
The
It's hard-
Nuggets are.
It'd be very hard to be a Timberwolves fan.
Oh,
You have
they're the
nothing. You have
worst.
absolutely nothing to brag about.
Anthony Edwards might win Rookie of the Year. So
All right, I guess there's that for you.
yeah, and they didn't. We didn't talk about this yet. This will be my last thing on NBA. They did not have the worst home loss in the NBA of all time this year. That was a different team in the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder. This was the game that Connor really loved to brag with us about because the Pacers beat the Thunder 152-95. Now the Thunder had their roster's already bad, but they didn't have their 5 best players playing. And it really showed. I mean, this was, if you wanted to know what NBA versus G League would look like if they lined up,
95, bro.
that was the game. The very next game,
152.
the Pacers play, by the way, they allow 154 points. So, like, the difference between G League and NBA, folks, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We still got a couple more weeks for the playoffs to get going. So, but yeah, definitely this was good to kind of highlight the races that are coming for these spots because you get into a little losing streak, you're gonna be finding yourself in the play-in, and that's not where you want to be right now.
Mm-mm.
So